Okay, my name is Gracie Eagle Bear. My Blackfoot name is Anakayaki, and I am on climate action figures.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Climate Action Figures. My name is John Whidden, and this week on the show you get to meet Gracie Eagle Bear. But first, this week's QuickFix, which comes from Linda in Edmonton, Alberta. And Linda says, single-serve coffee makers like Keurig. You can make your own coffee in reusable pods that you can buy for these things instead of the store purchased ones that you have to throw away each time. So she said, just make sure you buy the kind that are compatible with your machine. That's a great quick fix. Thanks for sharing that, Linda, and welcome, Gracie.
Hi.
What do you think about that quick fix?
It's pretty good.
Are you a coffee drinker yourself?
Yes, I am a coffee drinker.
Do you use the little pods, or are you like us where you make the whole pot?
I make the whole pot.
Oh, there you go. Then you don't have to worry about throwing anything away except for the filter, right?
Yeah.
Now, Gracie, your full name is Gracie Eagle Bear, and I'd love for you to say that again in Blackfoot because it sounded so beautiful.
Anakayaki.
And tell us about the origin of that name, if you don't mind, Gracie.
In my culture, we have our government name, and which I said it, Gracie Eagle Bear. That's my government name. But in my culture, we have another name, our spiritual name, and it means pretty bear woman. And back in the day, they used to give us names like that because when we go to the spirit world, that's who we are. That's our name in the spirit world.
Well, that is fascinating. Well, thanks very much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
And I'm told you also are a big music listener. So what kind of music do you like to listen to?
I like to listen to rap and country.
Okay. Do you have favorite artists?
My favorite artist is Future and Kendrick Lamar.
Now, Gracie, I heard about your school through an interview on CBC with Ramona about a trip that you were actually on to Europe. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that trip?
We went to Europe and it was such an experience. The only reason why we went over there was for Pete Provost.
Tell us about Pete Provost and why that drew your group to Europe.
Pete Provost went into the war in Vimy Ridge. He was from Pagan Nation and he went up there with his twin brother, I believe. They fought in Vimy Ridge and he didn't make it back, but his brother did. And he's the first guy on the reserve who went to go fought over there and he never made it back. So we went to go honor him at Vimy Ridge.
To go and make the ultimate sacrifice like that is incredible when you think about it.
Yeah.
What did you learn about Pete that struck with you?
They read this little booklet when we were having our little ceremony for him, and one thing they said about him was he had the choice to go to war or go to jail, and that really stuck with me because back when all the wars were happening, all the men had to go and fight for our country, and they had a choice to go to war or go to jail. And he picked war to fight for our rights and for our land. And I just thought that was pretty cool of him because that must have been really sad for him to pick two options, and I feel like he made the right choice in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess so. What do you want to go to jail or do you want to go to, Europe?
Yeah.
It's a terrible choice, really. But what a guy that he made that choice and then sacrificed for his people and for Canada ultimately. You say ceremony.
Yeah.
There was some sort of a Sweetgrass ceremony and you had a special part in that. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. In that ceremony, I had to burn sweetgrass from our greenhouse from here, and I got the opportunity to braid the sweetgrass because I have the rights to braid it. So I got picked to braid that sweetgrass and take it to Pete.
And as you did that and the sweetgrass was burned there, what a beautiful connection from your home to this distant place where he was buried.
Yeah.
Did that strike you, that connection between these two faraway places?
Yes. In that moment, when I was braiding it at my house and smudging it and blessing it, and I felt like when I was on my way towards where my destination was, I kind of felt that sweetgrass, how would I say, growing and kind of getting, I don't know how to say it, but I have a picture of it. But when I got there, the sweetgrass was gray. It had gray strands on it. And I kind of felt like it was growing its hair into like a mother, getting to an age. I felt like it was growing while I was going to my destination.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like a person would grow their hair and become the person they were meant to be.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
That is a very cool connection to your school. And we've talked with Thomas and Mike so far about the greenhouse and a little bit about the Sweetgrass Project. But you have a very special part in that, and you were part of a Sweetgrass knowledge transfer ceremony.
Yeah.
How did that all work?
Brett told me we were going to have a little ceremony about the sweetgrass. And I would say 2 years back, he asked me about if I wanted to be in this whole take part of the sweetgrass thing. And I said, yes, I would love to partake into that special project. So I got the opportunity to pick the sweetgrass and show Brett where the sweetgrass was. And then ever since then, I've been a part of it. And then that day, he asked me to go be a part of the ceremony. And I didn't know that I was going to get transferred the rights by my uncle Peter Strikes with a Gun. And I felt so honored because I do a lot of sweetgrass picking myself and I'm connected with sweetgrass and I know where to pick it. And I just felt very honored to get that transferred to me because I always wanted to be someone who got an opportunity to pick medicines. And I just, um,
So this is a traditional Blackfoot ceremony
yeah.
that that gives you the right to be a sweetgrass picker, or
Yes, I have the rights to pick it. I have the rights to braid it, and I have the rights to offer it, and I have the rights to grow it. And that's one thing I never thought I would be doing as I got those transferred to me because I didn't know that you could grow it on your own. And I thought that was pretty cool.
what were your emotions, Gracie, as you received those rights?
I felt really honored. I felt really blessed and I felt really happy because I was praying to come a medicine woman one day and I felt like that's just a step of it, getting the rights to the sweetgrass.
Wow, a medicine woman someday. That sounds fascinating. What's your inspiration for that?
My inspiration for a medicine woman is to just help our people, hold my own sun dances and hold my own ceremonies, hold my all night smokes, and to just help people with our culture and to just go around helping our people. That's why I want to be a medicine woman one day because I feel like I could help our next generation learning our culture.
I'm curious to know what you think are the most important ways that you can pass the knowledge on that you've learned. And maybe part of that is what are the important ways that you've been taught that information? Who have been the people in your life who have taught you that?
Starting off first with our like old stories back in the day, what they used to do, and just like I feel like our little people are just like not really learning about the medicines, the importance of medicines, the importance of our history, our stories. That's why I kind of want to be a medicine woman, because I kind of have stories like that and I want to carry them on so the next generation has those stories and has the knowledge of the medicines, because I feel like our medicines and stories are lost. That's why I want to be a medicine woman. My auntie Albertine and my auntie Delia, they are the ones who I look up to because they have their own bundles. My auntie Delia's in the Sundance. She really brought it up to me that I want to be a part of the Sundance too and have my own bundle, you know, because I feel like that's where my heart is connected. And my auntie, Marissa Little Mustache, she helped me with all this knowledge. She was the one who taught me about like the medicines and our teachings, My uncle Peter Strikes of a Gun, he taught me the stories, and all around, like just my family teaching me those significance of our culture.
I have this vision of you someday, probably not far in the future, being this wise medicine woman who's sharing all these wonderful traditions with future Blackfoot people and many others.
Yeah.
Gracie, you started with this program that grows sweetgrass and other things in the greenhouse when you first arrived at the school there, and you're now a senior student at the school, right?
Yes, I am.
Do you remember your first impressions of the program when you first saw the greenhouse and heard about the sweetgrass growing?
At the time, I was just learning about sweetgrass and about sage and about different kind of medicine. I remember one day I was picking sweetgrass and I came to school the next day and I told Brett what I was doing, and he was like, "Oh, you do sweetgrass?" And I was like, "Yep, I do." He started coming up with these programs about sweetgrass, and I didn't know that we had a greenhouse growing with sweetgrass, and that was pretty cool. And he started including me in these ceremonies with sweetgrass and other ceremonies, and I was really honored because at the time I was going through my spiritual journey with my culture, and I was really amazed, and I felt like Creator was just teaching me other steps that I need to know about our medicines and just the importance of medicines. And I feel like Creator was the one who set all this up for me to learn more about it, because in my heart I want to be a medicine woman one day.
You sound like a very wise young woman for your tender years. I'm curious to know, you've mentioned a few names of people who have inspired you. Are there other people who have had a big influence on your learning First Nations ways, Blackfoot ways, and shaping who you've become?
It has to be my auntie Marissa Little Mustache. She was the one who really taught me these spiritual journeys and who really stuck by my side throughout my spiritual journey. And I'm just so thankful for her, because without her, I wouldn't know any of this knowledge today. And she was the one who really inspired me to do these kind of things.
Now, let's just get back to the school program for a moment, Gracie. You've talked about the importance of sweetgrass and how it grew in that direction. But what's your day-to-day involvement? Like on an average day or in an average week, what kind of things do you do in the program to look after sweetgrass or the greenhouse or what have you?
We usually go out there and check on it, and if it hasn't been watered, that's what I would do. I Every time I go to the greenhouse, I'm always the one who's checking up on the sweetgrass sometimes, or who's making sure it's watered and that making sure it's growing properly, making sure that no one's cutting the roots, because if you cut the roots, it ain't gonna grow.
And do you teach the younger students about this so that they understand those things as well?
I had some times where I went to a school and I had some kids come in the classroom and I taught them about like the sweetgrass and the importance of it and why we use it and why it's so important to us in our culture.
So even in high school, you're taking a big part in helping future generations to understand the importance of that.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. So, Gracie, as you think about the future of the school program, the greenhouse, the Sweetgrass project, as you leave the school in the next year or two, what would you like to see that program become as you move away?
I hope that it gets carried on, and I hope that it stays and it grows, and that the next generation has somewhere to learn about the sweetgrass and learn about the history of it. And I hope someone like me comes along and teaches the next generations about the sweetgrass and about the greenhouse. And I hope this program stays as it is, because it's a really fun program for the next generation, and it's an opportunity for them to learn how it grows and to know the importance of it. And I hope it stays for the next generation.
Okay, so that's the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask what where the future might take you, or maybe I should say where you might take the future.
I hope that in my future, I hope I become a medicine woman, and I'm already taking those steps towards that. But for right now, I just want to be someone that helps our kids on the reserve, because I want to be a child care and youth worker. And I feel like that will bring me where I want to go in the future, helping my people and just taking care of them in a way, because we don't have that much help on the reserves. And I just want to be that person that can help my people. And maybe one day I will become a medicine woman. When I become an elder, I hope I become a medicine woman.
I have no doubt that your future will be very bright, whichever way you decide to go, and all the best as you head that way. Now, Gracie, as you talk about all these desires you have to look after your people, does that come partly from your immediate family? What's the influence been there?
Yes, it does come from my family, because my family struggles with like addictions and just a whole bunch of other things that our reserve deals with. I kind of suffered with that when I was growing up, and I feel like I want to make a difference, and help our people. It's sad and it breaks my heart, because I am still young and I can't really do anything about it. But when I get older, I kind of want to make a difference, because I feel like my people need that change, because there's hardly any hope. And, watching my family go through that, it just makes me want to do better and help our people. The positive side of it is that I always see my family helping other people and doing a lot of good things for them, and just making sure that they're okay. For example, my dad, the late Aaron Goodrider, he was the one who always helped the people, always helped the homeless people, and always brought them into our home and made sure that they were good, and always helped people with whatever they needed help with. That kind of inspired me, because my dad was always a hard worker and a good person to help people.
Anyone else in your immediate family you want to mention?
My grandma, Florence Little Mustache, because she was always the one being nice and always lovely, because she was always helping people and always being there for people when they needed help. She never said no, and I kind of feel like that's where I get it from, is my grandma.
Now, Gracie, you've chosen one climate action for us today. Which have you picked?
I picked highway cleanup. I take part every year, and I like to clean up garbage every year, because I feel like that helps our environment, Mother Earth, stay clean.
Now, Gracie, a moment ago you mentioned sometimes there's a lack of hope within your people. What gives you hope these days?
Knowing that there's a future out in the world, knowing that there's so many opportunities in the world, after traveling to Europe and to Germany, I kind of felt like there was a world out there, and that kind of gave me hope because I don't really have hope on the reserve. And knowing that there's a world out there and full of opportunities and just full of other people, that just gave me hope right there for my future.
That is wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for joining us today, Gracie.
You're so welcome.
And thank you, dear listener or viewer. If you have enjoyed what you've seen or heard here today and you can think of someone who would enjoy it as well, please pass it along to them. We love when you share the good news. We will be back again next week, same time, same place, to hear from another climate action figure. Until then,
go figures.
This has been Climate Action Figures. Our show is produced and hosted by John Whidden. Our creative consultant is Kayla McIntosh. Our theme song is Hawaii Vacation by Tovari. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Climate Action Figures. That's all one word. And if you have any other questions or comments that arose from this or any episode, feel free to reach out to us at climateactionfigures@gmail.com. And thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with another Climate Action Figure.